Our focus today is estimating the percent of a number. So one good thing to know is a huge keyword in math and in mathematical word problems and sentences is the word of. And the word of usually denotes to multiply. Not always, but as we're going to see, percent of a number, it would mean percent times a number. So we've done some estimation before. If we were to estimate the answer to 55 times 11, we'd want you to round. In this case, round to easy numbers you can do in your head and also ones that are close. I'm going to round this one to 60. Rounding to 50 would also be okay, but I wouldn't want to round it to like 100 or even 25. 11, you might be able to keep it as 11 if you can do that in your head. You can also change it to an easy number like 10. 20 is probably too far away, and so is probably 15. So if we were to estimate 60 times 10, you would get 600. The same rule applies for percent of a number. If you see about how many, that also shows that we're going to be doing our estimation. So if I want to estimate 47% of 592, estimate just means I need to get a number I can do in my head, I can work with easily. So a good percentage to estimate to would be 50% here. Of means multiply. And 592, you could round to a lot of things. You could round to 590, you could round to 595, but you want the easiest number you can do in your head that's also pretty close. And in this case, 600 would be it. Now, if you were to use a calculator to solve this, you don't want to type in 50 times 600. You would actually have to make 50% into a number, which is a decimal, or a fraction. So you either change it to a half of 600, which you should be able to answer, or change it to a decimal by making it 0.5 times 600. Either way, you should get the answer is about 300. And so that's the little symbol we use to show about. Okay, I'm going to do another problem. Let's estimate 60% of 27. If it already ends in a 0, it's probably a pretty easy percent to work with, so you could definitely leave it as that percent of 27. So I'm going to round that to 30. You could also round it to 25. Either one would really work. I just prefer to go up to 30 because that's easier for me to do. You multiply that 6 times 3, 18, add that 0, you move the decimal one time, and we get it's about 18, which would make sense. 100% of 27 would be 27. So we expect the answer to be a little less than 27, but a little more than halfway since 60% is more than halfway.